Episode 2, we are live.
We're back.
Flip it street or make it weird. And I'm not sure how we do this. Do we go right to the intro music? Should I have started with the intro music? Should I not have said anything yet?
We probably.
Should we have practiced this?
It's all right. There's no rules.
Well, welcome to the show. It's episode 2.
There we go.
Now, is this the music we chose? Is that what we went with?
I'm pretty sure that was the outro music that we were going to do.
Don't tell me that. We already started recording.
It's all right. It's fine. It's fine.
I messed it up already.
Episode 3 will be
We're less than a minute into the show. And already you're like, that's not right. That's not what we were supposed to do. Oh, goodness.
It's fine. There's always episode 3.
Man, I am excited. I want to thank everybody for the love and support from round 1, from episode 1, which is live everywhere. And if you're hearing this, then you know that because this one's already live too.
Yeah.
Right?
This one's.
Does that make sense?
And most of the feedback, we were talking the other day, most of the feedback we've gotten was, it's about time. I heard that from just about everyone. I was like, hey, we got a podcast. They're like, finally.
Yeah, exactly.
Finally.
People have been telling us that for years. They say, you need to get that new podcast going. And we said, yeah, we're going to start one. We're going to start one. And then
we're going to start it.
We're going to go ahead and make it happen. Probably next year.
We had kids and then another kid and then everything else. And now there's no more excuses. We're just doing it. I'm excited. It still feels surreal to actually do this. This is
the feedback I got was the one that I was most excited about, and I thought it was really funny, is my wife, Brittany. She comes. Oh, hey, look, we've got our first guest on the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, look at you. Why are you unzipped? What you?
Oh, okay. Are we going to go right into crazy shit my kids did this week? Is this the start of that segment? Are we getting that early?
It's like,
here this morning?
It's never too early for a fig bar, let me tell you.
Oh, look at you. You've got snack. Where did you just pull the snack out of?
He brought it to me.
Oh, he brought it to you. I thought that you
he's
just
like, hey.
I thought you were so prepared for this to happen that you had just a bunch of snacks ready to go to bribe your kid to go away as soon as they walk into the room.
Sean?
Hi, Jace.
Hi, Sean.
He's like, I don't have time for this.
You're going to stay? You're going to stay for a while? Okay.
This
Where's
looks
your
like
daddy?
Fun.
Where's daddy? Here, you want to take those? Okay.
He looks so confused. He's just like, what is happening right now?
What is happening? Why is Sean on your screen?
Yeah, what's going on here? See, this is new to him too. It's new to us. It's new to him. What were his thoughts on last week's podcast? Did he watch or listen to any of that?
I mean, he was forced to listen to it. He didn't really care one way or the other. He's pretty easy to please.
You had the opportunity to make up anything you wanted because he can't talk. You could have said he raved about the, and then we could.
And that's the best.
That's what you chose.
Podcast he's ever heard.
That's what you chose.
It's the only one he's ever heard, and I thought it was wonderful.
Okay, perfect. See, that's perfect. Yes. Now we can actually legally we can write that and put that down now.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say that Brittany's feedback. I was really excited because Brittany. She said she came to me like 3 days after it went live, the podcast, and she said, "Hey, I listened to your whole podcast on the way to work the other day." I said, "Really?" I was like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah." And it was a pause, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
She said, "It was really good." Like that. That's the way, the tone that she said it. It was really good.
Surprised.
She was shocked that it was really good. And I said, "Why do you sound so shocked?" She said, we've been doing radio in our morning show for years. I said, have you, what's the big,
it's the same,
same thing. And she says, no, but it's 30 minutes of continuous talking and you actually somehow made it smooth and go together like you're used to taking commercial breaks and going into songs and all that kind of stuff.
I was so nervous about doing 30 minutes uninterrupted, because we're used to doing 2.5 minute breaks at a time, just quick, get into the punch and then get out and get to commercials. And now it's like, what are we going to talk about for 30 minutes? But then it's like, wait, it's already over?
Yeah. It's like and I understand what she's saying, so she didn't mean it as like a derogatory thing when she was so shocked like that, but it is. It's like a person that's used to running 1 minute sprints, just immediately going out and competing in a marathon, and then we won that marathon, and everybody's what? What just happened right now?
We won it. What just happened?
Yeah, exactly.
Like the underdog coming up.
Yeah, that's who we are right now.
Mm-hmm. That's what I keep saying. Like, Joe Rogan needs to watch out.
Yeah, we're the underdogs.
We're coming for him. And if we would have started when we should have started, we would already be number one. I think so.
If we would have started when we should have started.
Yeah.
All right.
Story of my life.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, we got some old business to get to. So number one was thanking everybody from for our first episode.
Mm-hmm.
You can now find this if you're listening on YouTube or wherever, like from like our show, our video version. But you want to get the audio version to listen in your car or anything, you can find us in more places now since last week. So Amazon, Audible, Spotify, YouTube podcasts, Pandora podcasts, anywhere, pretty much anywhere, the most popular podcasting locations, you can now find us. So I'm happy to say that is now all up. We hope that you follow us on all those ones to get notified of our new episodes.
I was going to see if I could tell Google to play us, but I don't know my phone in here.
Okay. Thanks that was great. That was
sorry. I was highly unprepared for that.
What a great.
It's like, wait, that would be a great thing to be.
I am so happy you're here to add to the show. I mean, that is.
I do what I can.
Oh my God. This is. Episode 1 was so great. We started high, and it's just like.
See, this is
we got kids crashing the show.
We start crappy, and then it's going to end on a really high note, I think. We're going to do
there's not many other ways to go at this point.
That's true.
So let's go ahead and get into the good news. That's what we're supposed to start with. We're already 7 minutes into this nonsense. What's the good news today? What kind of great stories to pick us up and
so I love our military. I have so many yes, you do too.
Yeah, he does too.
I know. He's named after my granddad, Sam, who served in the U.S. Army. And so the military always holds a really special place in my heart. And radio is helping to spread the word with it. There is a Navy veteran in Maryland named Springer Blankenship, and he signed up to volunteer for this group called I Want to Mow Your Lawn. And I think we've talked about this group before. They've been around a long time.
We talked about the radio, yeah.
And it was all after he heard about it on the radio. It's this grassroots organization, and they have these volunteers that just mow lawns across the country for free. And it's, mainly helping the older adults who can't really get out, especially in the heat and everything. People with disabilities, anyone in need, basically, that is unable to mow their yard. There's all these volunteers ready and willing to do it across the country. And this guy has now mowed over 100 lawns. But this I Want to Mow Your Lawn is accepting volunteers and donations because, they need, new equipment and things like that to be able to continue to provide these services for free for all of the, elderly and disabled and stuff. So they are accepting volunteers and donations too. So make sure you can check them out online. So I Want to Mow Your Lawn.
This guy that had served in the military, he's a military veteran, you said, and he's now going out and serving again and cutting other people's lawns.
Yes.
How awesome is that? I mean, that's the
they
type
never
of guy.
Stop serving.
Yeah.
It's military people never stop serving, no matter if they're in uniform or out of uniform. Jeez Louise. What was that? Okay.
Is everybody okay over there? Is
that a good sign?
I don't think that's a good sign for the first show. I think maybe we should or the second show. Oh my goodness.
And it's Psalm 46:10, which is "Be still and know that I am God." I know.
All right. I think we got the hint.
I'm sorry. I didn't say anything bad.
I'm gonna move out from underneath my ceiling fan.
Okay.
Just in case.
Okay.
I don't know what's falling next.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Woo!
This.
I don't need any caffeine this morning. Holy moly.
Wow. See, our motto is real life. We keep it real. We're real friends, real life, and real weird. The last 30 seconds have accompanied everything that you need to know about this.
Encapsulated everything.
Here we are.
No.
Trying to do our best. You're trying to do your best
kids,
to balance.
Crosses are falling on me.
Being a mom and having your child at work with you, which I think a lot of people can understand, especially after
it's
COVID
so
when
relatable.
everybody was working at home. This was just normal. And I think it's more normal now. There's probably a good portion of, I don't know what he's doing over there. He's just shaking things. But this was just so it's kind of more commonplace now than it was 4 years ago for a kid to just be in the background of whatever work thing you are doing and wreaking havoc.
It's so true. I had to call and make a payment on a bill the other day, and I called, and it was, a lady that answered, and she's working from home, and I could kind of hear a little bit in the background, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry if you hear anything. My kid's homesick from school and everything, and I'm just, working from home." And I'm like, "Girl, I got a Hot Wheels track set up in my living room, so if you hear something as my Evel Knievel kid that's about to just jump off of the back of the couch or something."
Just a couple of weeks ago, we were updating insurance, and I was on the phone with our insurance agent, and the insurance agent was like, "Excuse me if you happen to hear some dogs in the background or something like that.
Right.
It's no big deal or whatever.
Hold my beer.
They may like to bark." Yeah, no. But it's funny because the dogs were so loud and so. I was like, "What do you mean? If I happen to hear dogs, if I happen to hear you during this conversation, I'm gonna consider myself lucky because these dogs are going nuts in the background the entire duration of the call."
Yeah.
Like, how do you get any work done whatsoever?
It's like a mom thing. We're able to kind of, most times at least, sort of just tune everything out and focus on what, like, the whole house could be on fire and I'd be like, did I tell you about the good news today?
I don't think that's healthy. I don't think
Yeah, it's probably not.
You're like,
probably.
I mean, see, he's done. Yeah. He's bored. He says this is
going back
it.
To watch Bluey. I don't blame you.
Yeah, 12 minutes is enough.
Yeah. It's like this is longer than a Bluey episode. I'm out of here.
Yeah, this is great. You guys have not become a human piano yet.
Not yet, no.
Which on the radio show earlier, we had on one of our radio shows, we had a caller that shared with us that he is he's tired of being compared basically by his kid to the Bluey family. Whatever the Healer family, I guess it is.
The Healers.
Yeah, the Healers.
The Healers.
He says, "I'm tired of being compared to that." He goes, because my kids now think that I have to be a human piano for hours on end and entertain them the entire day. But you said it's not. It's 7 minutes of their day.
It's not hours on end. And it's, everybody's got something. It's like a love-hate relationship with Bluey. And it's like, you don't have to be super mom and super dad 24 hours a day. Like, you are the most important thing to your kid right now. You're basically the center of their world until they grow up and get, friends and their own lives and stuff like that.
Don't start. It's going to make me sad.
I know. But I'm saying you have 7 minutes to be a human piano or something, no matter what you're doing. And that's honestly, Bluey, watching that dang show has helped me be like, okay, I actually do have 5 minutes to go be a rag doll with Addie, or something like that. It's like, I do. The clothes can wait. The dishes can wait. And that's something that's really hard for me as someone that is very, OCD, and I like to have a clean house and stuff like that. But it's like, this is their childhood. They're not going to remember how clean the house was and if the dishes were done every day and if the clothes were put away. They're so used to grabbing stuff out of the pile in the closet that it's like, hey, I don't have my skirt. Okay, did you check the closet? That's the next place to go. But we're also, you have to get your priorities in order. And that's something, it's a work in progress. It's, every day, even after over a decade of doing this, it's like, okay, get up, go out there and, play with them. The clothes can wait. The dishes can wait. The clean house can wait until they're moved out because Lord knows it's not going to be clean.
Oh, I know.
Anytime soon.
I've been over to your house and you live by that. you live by
true.
the
It's true. I live by that. I do. I'm like, it's three
It's
kids.
always a
you just
disaster.
you have to throw your hands up
No,
sometimes.
I'm
and be like,
kidding.
This is it.
What's amazing is that and you don't give yourself enough credit though, because you still have a pretty balanced home. I feel like I've never gone into your house and said, "Oh my gosh, you let
Yeah,
the kids
I know.
run rampant in here." There's markers on the wall. There's trash
it's
everywhere.
usually-
You do a pretty good job of balancing that. And I do think there is a balance. There is a balance. Like you said,
There is a balance,
You
yeah.
need to not worry so much about some toys being on the floor, and you need to not worry about this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That is
Right.
just a part of life. Worry more about the moments you get to spend and enjoy that. But also, it shouldn't become unlivable.
Yes. And
There's
I
a-
would
there's
say,
a-
let them be
balance.
kids, let them do stuff, but also invite people over every once in a while,
Yeah.
because when you do,
That forces you to clean up.
you do like that kind of frantic rushing 15 minutes. I can get this
does.
house
It
cleaned
does.
in 15 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
spotless.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
amazing
like,
what you
so
can do when someone says,
invite-
"Hey, I'm on my way
yeah.
over." You're like,
Invite some people
"Oh,
over."
okay."
Yep.
Stuff some stuff into my hall closet.
Yep. Under the bed, wherever
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a junk drawer. Hey, before we get too far away, I see Flippin' Streeter's good news still at the bottom of the screen. What was the website for that? What was the website for that mowing helpers before we get too far away from that?
Yep.
Because we had a crossfall. For those just joining us, we had a crossfall in the middle
Yeah.
of our good news segment, which I don't know if that's a good sign or
okay,
not.
I did miss going to church last week, but I hope
It's all your fault.
I'm definitely going Sunday.
Yeah, I better now.
Definitely going Sunday.
Yeah.
It's iwanttomowyourlawn.com.
iwanttomowyourlawn.com.
is the website. We can put it down in the description,
Okay.
little link below and everything, but it's such a cool thing. I mean, it's all over the country, just these random strangers wanting to help other people. It's, it's always, we talk about it all the time. There's always so many bad things. You turn on the news and it's like, oh, woe is me. But then it's just because that stuff tends to be a little louder sometimes. And
Yeah.
if there's always good in the world. And I still believe that, the number of good people outweigh the number of bad people. And I think
Yeah.
we see, when
Oh,
they tell me
100%.
something good and stuff, we see that. It's real people all over the country, all over the world. And that's like one of my favorite sayings. It's, if you can't find one, be one. Be
one.
a good person.
Heck yeah. That's what it's all about. Just like that gentleman we were talking about earlier. I mean, what an awesome thing that he's,
Yeah.
not only served our country, but then came home and is just serving
Right.
just strangers to
Continuing.
everyone. I
Yep.
love that. Hey, real quick, going back to something that we talked about last week, talking about heroes and people that are serving us. We were talking about firefighters last week and first
Yeah.
responders that are running towards something.
Yes.
Running towards a fire or
Fire. Yeah.
a disaster of some sort. And you said, it's so great because they get to feel like superheroes and just feel
I
that.
think I don't know. I tend to feel like a lot of them like that.
Okay, hold on. Well, let me get to that. My argument was, I think that they're pissed off. I think that they're
Yeah.
so upset that
To an
someone has put
extent.
them in that situation. And
Right.
and you're like, to an extent. And I just want to say, I've heard from some firefighters and first responders that are that follow us on the show. They've reached out to us. A couple of them wanted to be anonymous because they were like, we don't need you to
Right.
know what
Yeah.
what we feel, what is going through our minds. We don't need you
You're
to
the
second
taxpayer.
guess.
We don't need you, actually.
Second guess what's happening here. But it seems pretty split. And they do say it really depends on the situation. They're like, first of all, they're like, if there's a fire and someone or a dire emergency where they got to
Yeah.
get in, get someone out, you don't have time to
Right.
think about superhero, pissed off, anything. You just have time
who
to
cares
say,
if the cat did it or not.
yes, they don't care.
You got to get in there and get them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's number one. And every single one of them agreed with that. They're like, you just go into work mode.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
shut things off and you just have to do your job.
Yep.
And they say, and that's their number one thing. But they do say, like, then there's part of them after. So if it's truly a hero like situation, like afterwards, they're like, sometimes they're like, yeah, you know what? I just
that felt good.
This is pretty cool.
The
I just saved
adrenaline
this person.
pumping and everything. Yeah.
If it ends that way, they're like, yes, this was great. You know what I mean? And and then sometimes they find out why this all happened, and they're like, I cannot believe you just put me and my family in jeopardy, and my friends in jeopardy, my coworkers in jeopardy for this.
Yeah, because it's something you saw on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot believe this. So we're both right. And I want to thank all the firefighters, seriously, and the first responders that reached out to us and shared their thoughts on this. But I think overwhelmingly, the biggest thing that they agree on is that when it comes time to do it, you just do it. It doesn't matter how you feel about the situation. You go and you do it. You just make it happen.
We've seen other tell me something good stories, where they have like body cam footage from police officers and stuff, and it's just like they go into. I mean, it's serious. It's like they just turn it on. It's like that switch that flips, and it's. I don't care about me. I care about saving this person. We talked about. A few days ago, this cop that jumped into the river to save this woman that was submerged in her vehicle, and he just got right in. He went down, busted the window open, and got her out to safety. And it's just it takes such a special kind of person to be able to be so selfless. And, that goes for first responders, military. I mean, everybody that puts their lives on the line every single day. And it's just that switch that flips, and they're like, I don't care about me. Basically, I'm going to do what I have to do to save these people. They're in danger.
Unbelievable. It's awesome. And we've spoke about it before. I hope that if I'm in that situation that I can react that way. The closest I came this week is there was a turtle crossing the road. And I did get out of my car, I stopped, and I made sure that turtle got to the other side of the road. And I was very happy with myself about that. I felt like that was like, I was not pissed at the turtle. For putting me in that situation. I felt like a hero. So that's the only thing that I can,
little things.
Yeah, right. That's my only way.
In a burning building. Come on.
I know that I'm not comparing. I'm not saying that I'm anywhere close to the heroes that get those things. I'm just saying that's my own version, the closest that I can come to right now.
Right.
Of being in a situation like that was at that turtle.
Now, if you were in St. Louis and you got out of your car to help a turtle, that might be a little more of a different story. Because
St. Louis is not all that bad. There are certain areas of crime, yes, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You need to come. You've never been to St. Louis, have you?
I haven't.
See?
It's never been one of those. It's kind of like West Virginia.
It's never been one of those
on my
Oh my gosh. List. It's one of the best cities in the world for families.
Really?
Yeah, that like being
it
shot
never
at.
Makes the list.
It's that's the little asterisk
list.
at the bottom. No, it's one of the best. It's one of the best cities in the world. We free zoo that's incredible. It's we've got the Science Center, which is free, which is incredible. Yes. The history museums, which are free, which are incredible.
It has to be free. You can't pay. You can't make people pay to come out and risk their lives to go see some artifacts.
Yeah, well, other cities do it. There are other cities that do that. There are other cities in this country that are also dangerous, that have dangerous parts that charge people for things.
That's true.
St. Louis is one of the few that does not. I mean, and these are state of the art. These are incredible places.
Yeah.
Also, we have Forest Park, which is amazing park.
What?
Forest Park, huge, beautiful park. That's where the zoo is. That's where the Science Center is. Where the History Museum is. Are we done? Okay, I'm ready to move on. This is
Forest Park.
Look, you are talking. I think it's a perfect
right
time.
Next to Tree City.
A perfect time, a perfect segue into That's So Florida, the segment that was created about your home state and all the stupidity and dumb criminals that originate in Florida.
You're talking about the places for families to live.
Yeah.
Tampa, Florida just came out as number 1 on the top of that list. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Tampa isn't really. I guess Tampa is Florida. Tampa's
good. Tampa's a good place.
Yeah, that's true. But we don't. I was going to say we don't hear a lot of That's So Florida stories originating out of Tampa.
No, they're on the outskirts. There's St. Pete. We've had some in Largo, where I have some family.
Yeah.
But Tampa itself is pretty good.
Yeah. I got a That's So Florida story that did not originate in Florida, but it just reminded me of that. Since you started off breaking the rules last week, by
There
coming
are no
to a
rules. We can't break them when
well,
there's
that's
no none to begin with.
that's so Florida originated as just stories of dumb criminals that originated in Florida. But
Right.
then now it's like it's the spirit of a Floridian.
is.
So if you have a story that happened anywhere in the world that's like, oh my gosh, that reminds me of somebody from
could be.
Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So that's
they could be from Florida and it just happened in another state.
that's
That
true.
could-
That's true. Like this burglar. This
There's no
isn't even.
rules.
This was a burglar in Rome. Rome, and on Tuesday night he was arrested, not because he set off an alarm or caused a ruckus during his break-in. No, this robber or burglar, he could have gotten away clean as a whistle, if
Okay. What happened?
he hadn't stopped in the middle of the burglary to read a book about Greek mythology. He became distracted after seeing the book on the bedside table of the home that he was burglarizing, and he just decided to open a page. You know, have you ever done that at a bookstore? When you open that first page,
Yeah,
and you're
at
like,
a bookstore. Yeah.
well, this is it. He was at his. I mean, this is his own version of a bookstore. He's in there burglarizing the place. It's basically like a store to
Yeah.
him, right? She's in there picking out. He's like, anything I want in this house. So he sees the book and he opens up his first page. He's like, oh. And then you turn the page, and then before you know it, hours have gone by, and you're 3 or 4 chapters into the book, and the person from the bookstore is saying, "It's closing time. We got to go.
Right.
You need to get out of here, or you need to buy this book." Well, that was kind of what happened, except the homeowner woke up because his hours have passed, and he found the robber still sitting on the bed reading this book.
He was still
Sitting on the book, still sitting on the bed reading the book. The owner's like, "What?" And called the cops and was arrested.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start with that. It's like
I think it's pretty relatable. Honestly, a similar thing happened to me one time. Yeah, except instead of a book, it was a tray of cookies. And instead of robbery, it was murder.
That's a little distracting.
Yeah.
Wait, murder? What?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
What
It was
did you
not murder. It's not murder. I murdered that tray of cookies. I can tell you that. Wait, do you have anything for That's So Florida this week? Do you have anything you wanted to share?
This man in Iowa. I
Wait.
really want to talk about
No,
him.
wait a second. You talked about a man in Iowa last week.
I know. There's another one. There's
What?
another one. I don't know what is happening in Iowa
You're
right
kidding
now.
me. I
don't know
thought
what
that
is
you
happening.
made a mistake and you brought the same story 2 weeks in a row.
No, this
Okay.
is very much not.
All right.
So this guy in Bondurant, Iowa, is accused of attacking a man with a makeshift bayonet.
Okay.
So he had staked out this place where his victim lived, and he attacked the man with a BB gun with like a makeshift bayonet on the front of it, and was going after the guy. The guy was hospitalized, put in the hospital with some serious injuries, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I was just trying to create one of the battles from one of the old wars."
What?
That was his excuse.
Nuts.
He wanted to feel what it would have been like to be a soldier in the Civil War.
You know, they have reenactments for those. They do that
Yeah,
at
you could probably maybe go to Gettysburg.
Yeah, they do those reenactments all the time.
Yeah.
Is what he probably should
Right.
have done.
Yeah,
But
that's probably-
he's like, I don't have
That
time to
would have
wait
been
for that. I don't have
the legal option.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're impatient,
That's
you
why
have to
That's
go
So
with the
Florida
illegal
exists
option.
because it's people that do not go the legal option. All right, we've got to move right along here to our crazy shit our kids did this week. Do you have anything that your kids did besides? Well, yeah, you know what? We started the show with that for you.
That was my portion of the.
Yeah, he
there.
interrupted the second podcast that we've ever put together
Yeah.
and knocked a cross off
Like,
the wall.
I don't have time for you to do this.
our Good News
I
segment.
need some fig bars right now. Can't wait.
I want to talk about this. This is something we brought on on our radio show. We talked about it a few weeks ago. What is it with other parents and comparing your kids sometimes? So what happened was a few weeks ago. This was, I guess, it is a few weeks ago. We had Luna out on her tricycle pedaling around the neighborhood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the neighbor guy.
Yeah, and this guy, this neighbor, I'd never
Yeah.
met him before. I've seen him in the neighborhood riding with his kid, about Luna's age, riding
Yeah.
his tricycle. And so we're riding, and he comes up, and he's like, "How old is your daughter?" And we're like, at this time, she's 2 or whatever. And I was like, "Yeah, she's 2." And he says, "Oh, well, that's an easy tricycle to pedal." I was like, "Wait, what? That's your first response?
Okay.
That's an easy tricycle to pedal?" And so we're like, "Okay, that's great. How old is your little boy?" He's like, "Well, he's 3. And this is a very difficult tricycle. Let's trade tricycles."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, wait, what? Why?" And so, what is happening right now? We're like, "Okay, fine, sure. If your kid wants to try out our tricycle, sure, no problem."
Yeah.
And so his kid gets on her tricycle and tries to pedal, but is struggling, and he's struggling a little bit with the tricycle. No big deal,
Right.
okay? It's no big. Everybody
deal.
has different things at different ages, and he gets like real upset, and he basically just takes. He's like, well, I don't, whatever, and he's like, and he just kind of he gets his kid and leaves. He was just upset that his kid was not tricycling.
Couldn't do it.
As much. And it was just a strange situation that we didn't ask for, that no one was saying, "Oh my gosh, why isn't your kid know how to pedal a tricycle?"
No one was making fun of
Yeah.
it. It's like.
It was a really odd situation. And I don't know if you've ever been in a situation like that before. But I was really proud of Luna for just like when the guy came, when the guy and the kid was like, "Can we trade tricycles?" She's like, "Yeah, it's really
right.
Okay, that's fine, no big deal." And like even she just wanted to play with the kid. That's all.
Yeah,
she just wanted to go and have
cares?
some fun. She didn't care about the tricycle situation. It was really strange.
Parents like that just drive me nuts. It's like, as I'm had my minor in education, and that's one of the things that they teach you is, hey, every kid learns at their own pace. Every kid has different there's stuff that kid can do that Luna can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Every kid has their own special set of skills, and it's not the parent's job to force a set of skills upon their kid if they don't want to do it.
Yeah. Except the dishes.
Yeah, the dishes every time.
The dishes. That's a skill y'all
time.
gonna get. You're gonna learn how to do the dishes.
Gonna learn it.
Yeah, because no one likes doing the dishes. I don't think.
No one likes.
Actually, I take that back. My dad, if he's listening or watching, which he usually does, he loves doing the dishes. And if you go to his house,
really?
yeah, if you go to his house, I think so. If you go to his house. And you stay for a little while and you try and do the dishes. You're like, no. I want to do the dishes.
Really?
Because he likes to do the dishes his way. And he has a specific way of arranging the dishes.
Yeah, see.
But he says it's like therapeutic a little bit. Which I could kind of get that.
There's better options for therapeutic things than dishes. But, to each their own,
Yeah.
I guess. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't love the dishes either.
No.
I want to talk about this before we run out of time, because I know we're getting to the end of our imaginary time limit here. We're getting close to this. This is the time limit we have put on ourselves.
Right. We've put it on ourselves.
In the beginning to just try and do this. But I saw this. This probably should have gone into That's So Florida, because this is the only crazy thing that actually happened out of Florida. Did you see there is a hearing impaired doctor in Florida has been placed on probation? This is a true story.
Okay.
After this is what Florida health officials say. This doctor began performing a colonoscopy without his hearing aids and did not know the patient was not fully sedated.
No.
So the patient's going, hey,
no,
hey, doc, I can feel this. I'm not sedated. And the doctor can't hear this without the hearing aids. This is what I'm gathering from this report. It's something like this is going on. And so now this doctor is under investigation.
Were there not other I just had a procedure done a few days ago, and there's it's not just the doctor in there. There's nurses, there's the anesthesiologist, there's, all these people inside that room. You're telling me that
none of them.
Well,
that's a good point.
This guy was
That's
asleep?
a good point. That's one of my worst fears of going into somewhere for surgery, because I have heard this before where people say that they were aware of what was going on, even though they were
like
supposedly sedated.
wake up.
Yeah, or they wake up. Exactly.
Yeah.
You wake up and, something's cut open or it's missing. Or it's like those brain surgeries where you have to be awake. Have you seen those?
Yes.
Have you heard about
and
that?
You like play the guitar.
Yeah,
and
you have to
stuff
play
while-
the violin while or read a book or sing a song, so that way parts of your brain are firing at the right time, so they know which things to cut and which not to. Like, I don't want that to be the reason. It scares me that we're at this stage in the game. That's what we rely on. Like, what if my brain isn't wired the same? And because I know it's not wired this. I am a bizarre individual. Like we were just talking about this. I play tennis right-handed, but I eat left-handed. But I'm not truly ambidextrous.
Right.
Like, I can't write right-handed.
You can't write with your right hand? See, I can.
No.
I can write with my left hand.
Yeah,
I do some things with my left hand.
But I eat with my left hand, and I write with my left hand, and I bat with my left hand. But I play tennis with my right hand, and my right hand is kind of my stronger hand. It's just bizarre. So what is my brain doing when they're like, "Hey, just sing a song"? It's probably not the normal thing that everybody else's brain does. So if I have to have brain surgery and they think that that's going to fire if I'm singing a song, that's going to fire the proper things, it's probably not. That's what scares me to death. That's one of the things
not
that
at
scares me
all.
to death.
I feel like ours are so backwards compared to most people, maybe, that, if the wires are crossed somewhere and I don't know where they are. But I'm thinking the only worry that I have was he actually going in for a colonoscopy? Because I worried about that, because I had an endoscopy done.
Yeah.
And that would be a horrible surprise if all of a sudden I'm expecting it to go one way and it goes the other.
Oh, no.
And I'm awake for it.
Yeah. And the doctor doesn't have their hearing aids in. So.
Buddy, other end.
Wait a second. No. Oh, gosh. Yeah. I don't know the rest of the story here, but when I saw that headline, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that has to be one of the worst things. And that is one of my worst fears.
Yeah.
And because you hear about that too, that people have gone in, they truly will write on, if you're supposed to have an arm amputated or something, they'll write on it like, okay, this is the arm.
Yes. My knee surgery, I've had two knee surgeries in the last 10 years or so from playing softball for so long. And they would go in, pre-surgery, and they would come over and they would circle my knee with a marker and put, this leg or whatever it was. I'm like, well, that gives me a lot of confidence.
I know. Drill here.
I feel like that should be the last resort there.
Yeah.
But that's,
no, it's
happens more often
it's
than you
interesting.
think.
Like, when you get to thinking about the medical, the advancements that we've made in medicine and procedures over the last,
For us
50,
to still be Sharpie.
50 yeah. Well, because your mind is blown in some aspects of it. You're like, I cannot believe
like robot surgery and everything, and we're still not sure which leg to do the robot surgery.
Yes, exactly. It all comes still
got a
down
robot to do it.
To this human
but we still
error.
have to make sure we do it right.
Like, is the robot laughing at us like, I know which knee? Like, it's easy to input, and here you are still having to circle it. I don't know. But it is a bizarre thing when you think about all the advancements that we've made, that we're still at that point.
It's crazy that we're still
for surgeries. Yeah. But anyway, I'm curious to see how this plays out. I think there's gonna be more to that story, because, like you said, there's usually a whole crew.
There's gotta be. It's like the anesthesiologist is supposed to be in there with you the whole time to make sure you're breathing okay, and the nurses are there to help the doctor and everything. Something's not adding up there.
Yeah, that seems strange, because and also, if you're not fully sedated, you're not like strapped down for the colonoscopy, are you? Like, I haven't had mine yet. I'm getting close to my first one here.
Roll on your side.
Yeah. So you should be able to be like, even if he can't hear you, wouldn't you think he'd be like, Doc,
Right. Like, hey, hello.
Yeah, doc, hello.
Hello.
Over
I'm
here?
I'm awake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This end. Hello. Look at this end real quick. I'm over here.
With I don't know though, with the anesthesia, like if you
Maybe
know,
you
depending
can't
on
fully
the,
do that.
the level of it, like if you can't move your arms.
See, we have
I
so
don't
many.
know.
We
That's
now
a
have more
terrible
questions.
situation.
Where now we
have
see.
answers.
Now we need to get a anesthesiologist on the show.
Now we need to call that doc. Oh no, we can't call that doctor.
Oh yeah, no, that wouldn't be good. Yeah. They probably can't talk about it anyway right now. It's probably an open
Probably
lawsuit.
not.
I don't think they can. All right. Well, I think is this it? Have we reached our endpoint? Have we covered everything that you wanted to cover this morning?
We didn't get to talk about your tooth.
My tooth.
I wanted to talk about your tooth.
Why do you want to talk about my tooth? My tooth is fine. Oh wait, is this about the text you sent me?
Yes.
A week ago? Yeah, what is that is so speaking of weird. So I'm minding my own business and I get a text from Flip and it's a picture of was it somebody else's face? Whose face was it?
Jordan Davis, the country singer, Jordan Davis.
Yeah, Jordan Davis. I got a picture so I got one of these watches and it comes up and all I see is a picture of Jordan Davis's face on my watch. All right. And I'm like, what is this? Why? In my first instinct, honestly, and I'm sorry, Jordan, if I'm sure he's probably watching, listening. My first instinct was, oh my God, did Jordan Davis die? Because that's like usually, I know. But whenever you get a random
board, no.
But when you ever get you know what I mean? Like, does anybody else have that reaction when you all of a sudden you see a picture of a celebrity that comes up on your screen? The first thing is, oh my God, they died. Like that's, I'm sure the first time people got an alert about Flip and Streeter after so many, because we had not been posting on socials that often. They were like, oh, they both died. That was probably the first thing
gone.
that they're gone for sure. No, but that was my first reaction. I get this little picture of Jordan Davis. And then afterwards, there's a text message. And I honestly thought that you sent this to the wrong person. Because I was like, what the hell is this even about? You said, look, he has a tooth like yours. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, I did.
And I still didn't even know what you meant. I was like, I don't think she's talking to me. I think she's texting somebody wrong. I don't know. So what did you mean? So you did mean to text me. And later you explained what? What did you explain?
It was on purpose. So I am one of like the most attentive people. Like I notice a lot of things that other people don't notice, I guess is what you would say. I don't know what you call that. But
observe.
I've always noticed sitting across from you for so many years and us, being friends and hanging out and everything. I've noticed that one of your front teeth is longer than the other, just a little bit longer than the other. And I saw a picture of Jordan Davis
for those
the other day.
Those watching on the thing, I'm going to put my...
Yeah. I don't think... But can you see?
Which one?
See, look, the one on the right, looking at you, it's the one on the right. So it's your left one. See how it goes down a little bit further than the other one?
Maybe slightly.
See, it's a little bit longer.
Maybe
it's a little
slightly.
bit longer than the other one. And so I saw a picture of Jordan Davis and I'm like, oh, he has a long tooth too.
Oh my gosh. And
I'm like, that to me, that's not that common, I guess. And so I'm like, hey, look, it's your tooth twin.
I think it's so common. Everybody has it on even. There's like, it's very rare that everybody's teeth are exactly. No one ran a freaking level over everybody's teeth. They're all born. I mean, that is the most absurd thing. And why you would even, even if you thought that, why would you say that to somebody? Why would you?
Because I have a problem with controlling my intrusive thoughts, okay? We know this. I have a problem with it. And I thought it was like, oh, hey, he's got the same thing that you do.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a bad thing. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. Text somebody. I'm going to text Brittany now, see if I can find somebody oh yeah, did you see that lady's got an uneven breasts as well? Right. That's the same thing, right? Because aren't women? Isn't that the same thing?
I mean, probably, yeah.
See, exactly.
That's true because one is bigger than the other.
Yeah, exactly. Well, one of my front teeth is bigger than the other, and I think everybody else, same thing.
And it's usually your dominant side, it's usually the dominant side that's bigger than the other one.
Real quick.
You have one good one and one.
Okay, put your
No,
No, your
I'm
teeth.
not doing
your teeth.
that on the podcast.
Your teeth is what I'm saying.
Oh.
God, I should have led with that. I was talking about your teeth.
See?
Wait, yours are even. Wait a second. Wait a second. That's not fair. Yours. So that's why you're surprised about this, because yours are. You're the rare. You're the rarity. It's not me.
I'm not the
it's not
rarity.
Jordan Davis. It's you. You have completely level teeth, and you're probably the only. They're completely flat. Did you file them?
See,
They're dentist. They're dentist made, aren't they?
Here, this tooth. No, I never had braces or anything. I always wanted
Really?
braces. Always wanted braces my whole life because all of my friends had them, and I was always one of those that wanted to do what everybody else was doing. But this tooth right here, the front one actually sticks out a little further. It's like got squished when my wisdom teeth came in, I guess, or something.
You can't see it,
And
but
so
they're still even at the bottom, though.
Yeah, they're still even at the bottom, but this one does stick out just a little bit over the other tooth.
I am sorry. I'm sorry that you have that problem. I'm sorry that you are one of the rare people that has
sorry that
completely
I'm
straight
perfect.
teeth. No, it's not perfect. I mean, that's probably why
Yeah.
you struggle with eating meat and stuff, because the uneven teeth is what is. No, I'm serious. Uneven
You think
teeth
so?
helps you tear into that piece of steak and tear into the chicken and stuff. I think it's
Does
the
it?
uneven teeth. I don't know. I think it is. I mean, you look at a saw. You look at a saw, okay? And a saw that's really good at cutting things has all the jagged, uneven teeth.
The jagged, that's
Yeah,
true.
jagged, uneven.
But they're all the
Try
they're even jagged.
sawing a. Well, I guess that's a good point.
They're even. They're still even.
It's time for the end of the show. All right. It's been something.
Looking a little long in the tooth over there, buddy.
You couldn't wait to say that, could you?
Couldn't.
You're
I
hanging
couldn't.
on
I've
to
been
that
waiting a
this
week
whole
to
time.
say
You've
that.
been hanging on for so long. Next week, we got a better show for you, I promise you.
Yes,
we're really excited about it. We got
promise.
a very special surprise guest that's going to join us on the show next week. I'm talking about
Jace.
not Jace. That was a
Maybe
very
Jace.
He's the most special
But-
surprise guest that joined us this morning. An incredibly special surprise guest that's going to join us on the show next week. I really, really pumped about it. This is a famous person.
More famous than us.
More famous than us.
I mean,
Yeah.
depending
Yeah.
on who you ask, I guess.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Because we're pretty great.
Outside of our family, definitely more famous
Yeah.
than us. So make sure you do that. Make sure you like and follow us. Subscribe anywhere you listen to your podcast. We'd love for you to weigh in, share with us what you think about our shows so far. We take all of the feedback, good and the bad, and we will take it into consideration. We want you to be honest with us because we are real. This is our real life. We are real friends. And I think we did a pretty good job of keeping it weird. Don't you think?
I think we did too. Yeah.
I think
mean, long teeth always make everything weird.
You do. That is true. And crosses falling off the wall. We'll see you back here next week. Bye.